Todd Sansom, running for At-Large Board of Supervisors, Greene County. You announced back in January at the Republican committee meeting that you were going to run this year. You said some things that night. Anything changed from what you said back then?
Well, I'm going on recollection from months ago. The general concepts haven't changed. I will say that the Commissioner of Revenue's made some great progress with the land use issue. I'm excited to see that we're finally getting land use back to being properly administrated. So kudos to her on that. But as far as my overall thoughts on the direction of the county, on how we need to grow intelligently, on how we have long-standing county problems that need to be addressed, I think it's straight ahead for me, straightforward.
Earlier this month, Blue Ridge Shadows was voted down for PUD. If you had been on the board, what would your vote have been?
I would have voted for the PUD. I would have also looked at a deferral to possibly strengthen the deal even more. I think that we missed an opportunity to really sit down with the developers and talk through getting the best possible deal for the county that we could. I can't sit here and tell you that the deal that was on the table that night was the best that could be had because I don't think those conversations had been fully fleshed out. So I would have been open to more of that, but as opposed to as opposed to just a by right neighborhood where the county gets nothing, then I would have chosen to support the PUD.
Your competitor has come out and said that a lot of people there that night that if the PUD was shot down, that the developer, Mr. Peters, would walk away from the process. I've heard from him and his engineers since then that within 6 months there could be a site plan before the county for administrative approval. Doesn't go before the board anymore for the 340 some odd houses that are on county, that can be done in county land. Hear that the Hill and Dale approach that the PUD would have done would be instead probably a clear cut down to a flat surface and build houses like they do every place else.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
It's a game of roulette. You're playing a game of roulette with the town of Standardsville. The idea that they will just suppose they were right and the developers did just go away. Well, the land's still for sale, and the next developers, it's only a matter of time before they come along. Are you going to win that bet every time? There's no way. That land has been designated R1. It has been slated for growth for 40 years. It's coming, and to me, the best play is to talk to the developers and get the best deal that you can for the county, as opposed to rolling the dice, which is what they chose to do.
Your record, obviously, excuse me. Your record, obviously, school board for the past 4 years. Some issues came up at the last school board meeting. One of your board members did not vote for the extension of the contract for Dr. Whitmarsh. Concerns of the high absenteeism, truancy, the school's approach to dealing with it, which hasn't been very good so far. Talk about that, please.
Well, I could give you a 30-minute answer to that. I'm going to try to keep it much shorter.
Well, you get about a 30-second answer.
I see an administration that's doing the best that they can. I see them fighting the same battles that every other school division in our area and beyond is fighting. These are the post-COVID realities we've had from the federal government, from the state government, and unfortunately at times the local. We have been telling our students and our families for a couple years, don't come, it's not that important. And we're having to undo that now. And so, yes, we have a lot of absenteeism. We have a lot of families who think maybe school isn't as important as certainly I grew up knowing that it was. So we've gone down the wrong path culturally in terms of how we think of school. And we've got to turn that around. To me, that is not the fault of our administration. That is not the fault of our staff. I see them doing the best that they can to get these kids out. I see them literally going to houses and trying to instill in the parents the importance of school. the things we're doing with support coaches, the things that we're doing to reach out into our community. To me, we are fighting back as hard as we can, and I thought some of the criticism was quite unfair.